Hello folks, I'm Jackie Fox and welcome to Fox Talks. I'm just going to go right ahead and say it. Capitalism is good for capitalists. That's indisputable. Every time the news celebrates a raise in the GDP, that's a good day for capitalists. But what you may not understand about that statement is this. You are not a capitalist. Some of you because you're actively socialists. But even if you do support capitalism, you're still not a capitalist unless you happen to be wealthy enough to be a major part of the investor class. And if not, you are not a capitalist. You are a laborer. In an ideal sense, a pure capitalist doesn't even have to work. They let their money work for them, in part by hiring you and profiting from your labor. As an economic theory, capitalism doesn't even think of you as a laborer or even a person. You are a resource to be used to make profits for a capitalist, just like how a tree can be used to make lumber, and how a tree would be rejected if it were found to be even the least bit imperfect. You are just as easily disposable to a capitalist. Rarely do workers even know they're capitalist owners. This makes the process of dehumanizing us into a means to grow their wealth even easier. The problem seems to be that the American poor see themselves not as an exploited proletariat, but more as temporarily embarrassed millionaires. But said another way, we see ourselves as capitalists, even when we don't have the capital to invest, even when it isn't true. And yet, we believe that. Even then, we may become one someday. Remembering a boom in multi-level marketing companies in the last decade among my 20-something friends who are a bit naive about the job market, the parallels are clear to me. People join these pyramid schemes because they're so ready to be sold on the idea that they deserve to be millionaires through other people's work, even when they see stats that say that the average member of that MLM may only make on average a few $100s all year. The pipe dream keeps them from speaking out about that fact. In America, the picture is almost the same. If you look at average income, it seems okay, but with high income inequality, just like in the example of the MLM, the obscenely high earnings of the top make the mean look far better than it is. The median worker, when you account for how much they pay to the company to have the privilege of being told that they'll be rich, as if God himself is prepared to give them a gift of a fortune, they actually lose money to the MLM. The average median American worker, when you subtract for the cost of living, is in pretty much the same position. In either case, the system is unabashedly designed to take from the poor and give to the rich in some kind of a reverse Robin Hood on a global scale. This is why job displacement and what's often called globalism happens. Capitalists seek labor from any country that they can get it cheaply, not caring if human rights are exploited or even if American jobs are lost. We are just another raw material to them, and they will take it from whomever can most easily meet their demand for the lowest price. And on a global scale, this means that capitalism isn't too far removed from its predecessor of colonialism, except that instead of invading these countries to take their valuable resources, we are simply taking it from their laborers in the way of poverty, wages, and exploitation. And if you don't believe that that's the case, look at the difference between the daily pay of a Foxconn worker and the price of many of the products that their labor is involved in, sometimes with temporarily embarrassed millionaires lining up for the opportunity to pay thousands of dollars to get one on day one. So, your homework, I encourage you to ask yourself, if capitalism isn't designed to treat workers as humans, what would a system look like that did? What would some of its features be? And how would it operate? And as a second piece of homework, I would ask you to go ahead and like this video if you enjoyed the content, to subscribe to the channel so that you can watch me grow into a grade A capitalist millionaire. Okay, maybe that wasn't a good joke. But as a parting word, I would like to say that if you have to do labor, make sure that it's a labor of love.